Hey guys, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm your host, Jalen, and I'm here with a special guest, my best friend, Karlie. We're doing some imagination cheers. Woo! Yeah! I'm excited because this is my first guest ever on our show. Obviously, as you can know, AJ's not here, so it's just me and Karlie today. So
yeah, sorry, AJ.
So let's pretty much talk about how we met and pretty much how long we've been best friends. Let's start with that. Kind of start it off, how we know each other.
Okay. Which part you?
Just the beginning. I just say the beginning.
Okay. We met each other at private school. Mm-hmm. We were in pre-K. We were 4 years old. At that time, it was in a church.
Yep.
And I remember the first time I really noticed her, we were having a little show, and we both dressed up as clowns.
Oh yes,
it was for like a
circus. It was a circus thing we did. Yes, exactly what it was.
And we were dressed up as clowns, and I just remember looking at you because you were the other clown.
Yeah.
So I was like, because everybody was like tigers,
like
lions, and
we've been
elephants, and all sorts of other stuff.
We've been clowns ever since now.
Yeah, that should have showed us exactly what our friendship would be like. We're both clowns.
Well, we've been best friends, for 16, almost 17 years?
16, almost 17
Yeah, that's wild, first off. I would say, though, it was consecutive, 16 years. But
yeah.
We had a break, though. We had a break in 7th and 8th grade.
Well, we still texted and Snapchatted every once in a while.
I didn't have Snapchat in middle school.
I thought we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we did.
And then 9th grade hit, and that's when we really got close again.
Yes, yeah.
We went to different high schools.
But, because I moved schools after 7th grade, so we went to school together from pre-K until 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And then I left and went to public school. And then after that, we kind of, drifted away for a little bit, and then freshman year, you came to a football game, because I was on the drill team.
Yeah.
And just popped out of nowhere.
And then
I just remember running and almost sliding on the ramp and just jumping on you.
Oh my god, that was the best moment, because it was just that was pretty much just 2-3 years of us just not being able to see each other face to face for so long, and so finally being able to see each other, it was oh my gosh. And then after that, we've just been we've just been tight.
Picked up where we left off. But then I ended up transferring schools after freshman year, and we ended up going to the same high school
and graduated together. So it's funny, because when we went to private school, we graduated from kindergarten. That was a thing. So we graduated kindergarten together, and it was funny that we graduated high school together. So it all just worked out.
We still haven't retaken pictures.
I have pictures of, I don't think I have pictures of us graduating in kindergarten. I have a lot of pictures of us.
Yeah. It wasn't us together.
Yeah.
It was just separate pictures. I don't know. We could definitely make it, but we haven't ever made a collage, an edit.
That would be so cute though, but we also don't take that many pictures.
We
don't, and that's
because every time we're together, we just kind of enjoy
the moment. Yeah, we don't need to take.
I don't feel like we have to
take photos.
Document it.
Yeah,
you know?
We're a special kind of friends, I would say. We don't have to me and Karlie could go without talking for a couple months, and then one of us would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then boom, we just act like we just have been talking every day. That's how our friendship pretty much works, and that's how we operate on a day-to-day basis. So Karlie, tell me what you're doing now. What is your life looking like right now? Because obviously I have my life in college and at Arkansas and everything. So
they already know that about you.
Yeah, exactly. So tell the audience about you a little bit.
Man, this is just a rough story. I live in Lubbock now, so I'm 5 hours away from where we're originally from. Obviously, they know where you're from.
Yeah.
But I basically moved out there for a change of scenery, because there's always comes a point where you just are tired of your hometown and you need to get out, for sure. And this place has just become kind of a negative place for me. Mm-hmm. So I moved 5 hours away, and Lubbock, surprisingly, has a lot to do, regardless of what other people say.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of stuff. You know what? We have a mall.
Oh.
We have a Cabela's, a Main Event.
Okay.
We've got a PF Chang's.
See, look.
An Applebee's, a Chili's, a Hooters, every restaurant imaginable. Yeah, I know. That was well, I'm just naming up restaurants. I like their fried pickles.
Okay, I don't have been to Hooters before. So.
Their wings and their fried pickles are good. Whatever, we're getting off.
Yeah.
Either way, but yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. At some point, I want to go to cosmetology school. But money's been something else right now.
Tight right now.
But at some point, once I've saved up enough and have a reliable vehicle and whatnot, I'll be going to cosmetology school. So I can do makeup and nails is what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I'd really like to do, though, is SFX makeup.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
See,
and then
we can work together.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, we just know. We read each other's mind. I'm telling you guys. We've known each other so long. I swear. Me and Karlie can just look at each other and we pretty much just know what we're talking about.
Especially when we're talking about other
people. Oh my God. We can just look and we're like, uh-oh. Where's it going? And we're like, oh. Or we talk about a boy. We're like, oh, look at that one. You know, we have eye contact and we're just like, boom. And then we'll just start laughing because we both know what we're thinking. Yes. That's how close we are. Yes. So we're pretty much, I'm going to jump right into this. So we were going to do this little quiz I found online. And it was like, how well do you know your best friend quiz?
I'm kind of nervous.
I feel, that's another thing about our friendship. We don't have to be like, oh, what's your favorite color? Like, we don't know all that. I don't know your favorite color, honestly.
I don't know your favorite.
Exactly.
Wait, is it yours maroon?
No. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, that's
you wear a lot of maroon. And you chose maroon for your last prom dress.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, it's my school color. So, like, I do like it. Yeah. I would say my favorite color is blue.
Blue?
But isn't yours blue? Or is it pink?
Ooh.
Ew, pink is
I don't like pink.
I don't know why I thought pink.
No, I don't like pink. I've never liked pink.
I'm dumb.
But, like, everybody used to make fun of me as a kid because they'd be like, you like blue? That's your favorite color? That's a boy's. That's a boy's color. Like, whatever. Either way, I like black and teal.
Oh, I should have known black, bro. I'm so dumb.
I wear so much black.
Black is like sometimes your wardrobe. Like, everything.
It is my wardrobe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, most of the tops or whatever.
And it's not that I'm like goth.
It's just like, it fits you.
It's just like classy.
Exactly.
It goes with everything. But teal, if I had to pick a color that's like
not
wearable to have, it'd be teal. Definitely.
Yeah, that's a good color.
Which is such a basic favorite color, but it's better than having pink as my favorite color.
I mean, blue is pretty basic, I would say, for me. Yeah. But she's right. I do like the color maroon.
And teal, the reason teal is mainly because I like blue and I like green a lot. So and teal's just like a mixture of the both. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good mix. Okay, so let's pretty much... I'm trying to go through these questions and look at... this is a good first question to ask. Back when we were young, whatever, did you think that we were going to be friends this long? Like, as long as we were right now?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think we would be friends that long.
Do you want to know why, though?
What? Tell me your reason, then I'll go tell me.
I'm pretty sure you know my reason.
Okay, then say it.
Because you were very out there. Like, loud, annoying.
Oh, that's a good one. That everyone says that.
And very emotional.
Oh,
I remember when we were young, like, you used to cry. It was weird if you went a day without crying. Honestly. I
was an emotional person. I wouldn't say I would cry a lot, but I mean, I was very sensitive. That's a better word. I was sensitive about, like, a lot of things.
Yes.
I remember, like, when we were in 7th grade, I think.
It was
sixth grade.
And I specifically remember we were watching a video over some
sensitive
topics, specifically for you, and you just started crying. And everybody was just kind of sitting there awkwardly, like,
because like I said, we went to a predominantly white school was what we went to, our private school, and I was one of the few black kids that were there.
It was in a history class.
Yeah, history class.
So we were watching over history, and obviously not a lot of our history is that great.
So yeah, exactly. So that's why. But I've always been like sensitive when it comes to like people's jokes or whatever. But what I was gonna say, I remember when we were in 7th grade, and we used to make the meanest jokes to each other.
Oh my gosh!
And there was some moments I think that we went a little too far. So, like, there were moments to me I felt like, oh dang, like this is hitting something. And I know it was for you too. We were like that. We were mean, and it was to the point where, like, I think it was our principal or a teacher was like,
it was Mr. Riley.
Yeah, I think it was.
Can I say his name?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mr. Riley.
Yeah. That's fine.
He was like, he pulled us out of the
and it was
class.
like, are you guys like, is there a problem here? And like, we were like, no.
Do we need to have a discussion about this? And we were laughing so hard, and we were like, no, we're just very close. We're just like we're mean to each other.
We do.
I was the only person that could say something that you did not take like
serious.
Like it was not sensitive for you.
But it was like other people.
But that's because we were both just mean to each other. We made awful jokes. Like, jokes that I definitely cannot even say on here.
Yeah, because it was mean. We were brutal. Like, I don't know what made us start doing that.
They're a little controversial, I feel like.
Oh, we were bad. It was so bad.
Do you remember the teeth one?
Yeah, the teeth one was the worst, and I feel like I changed you.
No, my response to it
was
not nice. We were not nice to each other.
We weren't nice, and I don't know what made us, like, all of a sudden just be like, let's just be mean to them and just start that. But, I mean, ever since then, we're still kind of like that. We do little nagging jokes. Little jabs. But
they're, like, they don't have any, like,
effect.
Real meaning behind them. It's just messing with each other.
See, my reason why I thought that we were going to be friends so long as we are now, because I remember when we were in 6th and 7th grade, that time, we were kind of going to 2 different friend groups at the time. Mm-hmm. You had your little friend group with your 2 friends, and then I was hanging out with this one girl that I was friends with. And that's when we kind of were like, and not pulled apart, but we were just distracted by those people. And so we would hang out with other people. And so we would never, blend our groups together. Because the people we hung out were on 2 different spectrums.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, 2 different ways.
Yeah.
I would say, like, the friend that I was with was more like, I guess she was like more higher class. I can say that. She was higher class, I don't know. She was just very much different than I was.
I have some other descriptive words, but yeah.
Yeah, we
can say different.
We can say that.
Or we can say snooty. But yeah, that too.
That's a good word to use. She was little snooty type, rich girl. Like, she got a
And might I add, the whole reason, like, I guess we had different friend groups is mainly because the girl you were friends with slapped me in the face and called me a bad word. And
oh my God, I
had to go to the principal's office with her. It was Miss Werner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had to talk to us and sit us down and made her apologize to me because she slapped me hard. And that was like a big deal. Like
being in private school, if someone hits you or something like that, oh my God, yeah, that's a big deal because that's just unacceptable at the school at the time. So most definitely. So that was my reason why I thought we would be friends because we did have that period where we were.
I don't know though, because I never felt like we would stop being friends during that time period. I guess just because like. We were always friends during that time. We just weren't as close.
Yeah, so that's why I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna drift apart. We're not as close as we were before all these people.
No, I think out of everybody, like, I knew I had a genuine connection with you. Now, there was another person that I was close with at that time that I genuinely thought I would be lifelong friends with.
But now you're not.
And now I'm not.
I would say...
I mean, me and her are still cool, for sure. Absolutely. But, I mean, some things sometimes you just part ways and life takes you different directions.
But I would say the same for me too. The kids that we went to school with, pretty much we grew up with them like our whole life. We all grew up at Holy Cross together. Yeah. So it was like a family type thing. But then we all obviously parted ways. Probably in middle school, that's when a lot of people started like leaving. And when we got to public school, for like a lot of us in high school, that's when we all kind of went separate ways, and we just
that's definitely when we started to like realize who we were as people.
Yes, I think high school really.
And I started to realize that who I thought they were in elementary and middle school is not at all who they ended up being, which was really sad because I honestly, like, I wish we all could still be friends and whatnot, but a lot of them don't like me, which is, I'm just gonna be honest, a lot of them don't like me, which is fine, that's okay, it's just because we have
different opinions, different life choices.
A different life.
Yeah, different life choices, yeah.
Just because I think a lot of people, the whole, like, stigmatism for private school is that you're automatically wealthy.
Wealthy kid, yeah.
And even though both of us grew up comfortable, neither one of us were
wealthy. No.
And that's why I think a lot of them, why we did part ways is because it was just a different in class, and I worked really hard for a lot of what I had. Mm-hmm. And especially in high school, my parents didn't, baby me or buy my vehicles or do anything of that sort for me, and I think that just changed our directions in life. Yeah. Because as you know, a lot of them had pretty much everything
they wanted to them.
So
I think the same.
I don't judge them for that or anything. It's just I feel like they kind of judge me not being as high class as them, but at the same time I don't have everything handed to me, so it's hard for me to have a life like that unless I was to have a career, obviously.
Yeah, I have to agree with that too. I mean, for my sake, yes, I was, certain things, my parents did give me, like, I couldn't work in high school. My mom did get me a car when I was 16.
But you also, athletics was your job.
Was my job and everything.
And I wasn't involved in that anymore once I got
to high school.
sophomore.
Yeah, sophomore year.
After sophomore year, I wasn't involved in sports or dance or any of that stuff anymore. So, work was work. And for you, track
was pretty much work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that
you definitely did not have time to have a job
at the time in high school. No, I was busy because I was playing tennis too on the side. Mm-hmm. So I was constantly on the go. And I still am on the go now. Okay, so the second question I want to ask too is, why do you think we get along so well? Why do you think we get along so well?
Because we're complete opposites.
Oh yeah, we are. I would say for Karlie's personality, I wouldn't really classify. I mean, yes, you're an introvert.
I don't know. Not anymore.
Yeah, not as you were when we were. Okay, so let's just say when we were growing up together. She was more of an introvert type personality, and I was just like the extrovert, like all over the place. And she was more reserved growing up.
Yes.
So when we would be together, we just brought out different sides of each other that we didn't know we had.
Absolutely. Yeah, because in class, I mean, I didn't even talk. I did not talk. I was that kid that sat at my desk and did my work and did not say a word.
And I was
typically. I mean, that's just who I was up until you ruined me. up until I went to Centennial with you. That was when my life changed a lot. And I got a little bit more of an attitude for sure. And you brought that out in me because I don't think I ever had the confidence to stand up for myself or say something to people when they were hurting my feelings, and I think that you actually brought that out of me, which is funny because now roles are kind of reversed, where I'm like the person that encourages you to stick up for yourself, and now you're the person that has more of an issue with sticking up for yourself. It's weird. It's like we flip-flop.
We sometimes flip-flop when I think when one of us is down, that's when we have to flip-flop, because if one of us is just going through stuff, we have to bring the other person up. And so it's like the same way. So that's why now you're teaching me to stick up for myself because, I'm going through things and I'm not being the person that I was before.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's like how life is going to go for our friendship. We've honestly just bring out different things in each other, and that's why we get along so well, is just because we are able to open the other person's eyes to a side of life that the other person didn't really know existed.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely.
It's exciting. It's a fun friendship.
We never know
goofy
what we're gonna do.
And lighthearted, and there's times we're serious, but for the most part,
we're mostly funny.
We're mostly not serious.
It's hard for us to be serious, I would say, in our friendship. Like it's hard for us to have certain conversations and certain stuff because it's like we don't know how the other person can react because we've never had to deal with that type of situation.
Because we don't fight.
I think overall our whole friendship we've had probably 3 fights. Yeah, 3 fights,
and that's pretty insane for 16
years.
That's insane.
Typically, friends who've been some friends who last that long usually stop being friends.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't,
and at least if they don't, they argue quite a bit because in a way, it's almost like it's a marriage.
Yeah, and we're both 20, so that's the thing is we're young, and being friends that long at the young age we're at is just insane to me.
Especially since we made it through high school. That's insane too.
Because high school.
Most friends split up during high school.
Because personalities start changing. And I mean, for my sake too, when I was in high school, I was trying to fit in with the popular kids. Because I was my first year in public school, and I was like, okay, I just need to fit in with whoever. And I just found people that, right now, I'm not even friends with them right now because I was just kind of faking my way through high school.
And that's exactly a good example of why we're completely different people.
Yeah.
Because in high school, I flew under the radar.
Yeah.
I was the kind of person that, I mean, don't get me wrong, sophomore year I was pretty popular, but that was only because of who I was dating
at the time. Yeah.
But after that, I flew under the radar. I honestly was just there to get my stuff done and get out.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is through that whole thing, we just made an effort, honestly, to stay friends. We just would meet up in between class periods. We would have lunch together. Sometimes, was it 2 years that we had lunch together?
Junior year.
We had lunch together. And then I would just show up at your classes sometimes, or you'd show up at mine.
And then we hung out on the weekends. We still make time. And I think Karlie still understood why I was, kind of trying to fit in through high school. She understood, like...
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. That was the thing.
She just knew she couldn't do that. We
like
to call it code switching. That's what I used a lot.
I call it being fake. She calls it code switching.
I call it code switching. I had to in high school.
She was the type of person in high school who'd just be like, hey girl.
And then be like, girl, I hate her.
Yeah, which was horrible. Typically I didn't like people like that, but with Jalen, it was kind of honestly, if I would have done that in high school, I probably would have had a better time. Because honestly, high school is all about making shallow relationships, which sounds horrible. But that's the only way to get through it without being miserable. Because you honestly get hated on so much in high school for being yourself and for being honest with people. Because I was the type of person, if I didn't like you, you knew I didn't like you. Yeah. 100%. And it's not that I was mean or, like, hateful to people. It was just, like, I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't make an effort to go up to you or compliment you or anything like that. You know?
I think also, too, I was also, like Karlie said, she wasn't involved in sports when she came to Centennial, but I was. Like I said, I was on the tennis team. I ran track. So that also propelled my popularity because I was, I was really good at track.
You were involved.
I was involved with a lot of stuff. And I also did, I was in the media production at our school, too. So that's also how people knew who I was. So, like, when I got to senior year, that's where, like, my popularity was just up there. Everyone knew who I was. Even, like, underclassmen knew who I was. Like,
what was funny is senior year is, like, everybody knew who you were, but senior year is whenever you stopped caring about that.
I stopped caring about having friends. Yep. I lost all my... I would say, because Karlie graduated early. She graduated in December. So the first semester of my senior, she was already done. So, after that, when Karlie left, I felt so by myself. And that's why I realized, I'm like, man, like, I've been fake with all these people. Like, I'm not really genuinely these friends. Like, I'm not friends with these people. Like, so that's why I was like, whatever, like, type feelings. That second semester, that's when I was like...
But even then, we still made an effort. After I graduated early, like, we hung out. We FaceTimed pretty much every day after you get out of school. Yeah. Always. Like, if after practice or whatever you had going on, we would FaceTime. All the time. If we weren't doing that, we were going to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we were always
all the time.
That's why I said she was one of the genuine friends I have to this day.
Absolutely. What's the next question?
Oh, yeah, what's the next question? Let's think. I wanted to talk about our favorite memory of us together. Oh. There's a lot of fun memories.
That's a hard one. Oh, you want to know what my favorite memory is?
What's your favorite memory? Oh, no.
It's funny that this is my favorite memory because this is the one I give you, like, a lot of crap for sure. So it was was it my 18th birthday? Or was it my 17th? I think
17th birthday because I was new to driving.
Okay.
Oh, I know this story!
Okay, so I started driving before Jalen did.
Yes.
Number one, because I'm older, but also because when Jalen, like I don't know, like Jalen...
I didn't start driving until my junior year.
we can say you didn't start driving, but... Actually, let's not lie and say that you didn't drive prior to being 16.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We already know that story.
Hey, Miss Tucker.
She knows it. She knows exactly what we had a conversation about that earlier, like the other day.
The little sneaky trip Sonic.
Oh yeah, Lord, that got caught. Yeah.
But either way, it was my 17th birthday, and Jalen wanted to take me to go roller skating, and I was so excited. And it was me, my friend Amber, and Jalen. And Jalen was driving, and I was in the passenger seat, and Amber was in the back. And we were on this road, but you had to cross over 2 lanes of oncoming traffic to get into the entrance to the roller skating rink. And she was reaching down trying to grab something. I don't remember what it was, but she was not looking. And while she's reaching down to grab something, she's turning into oncoming traffic to turn in. And I'm like, you're just going to start blindly turning while you're looking down. And there is this car that is coming, and they are going so fast. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought she would look up at some point and realize that we were about to get hit. But no, she wasn't. So I had to reach over and grab the wheel and yank it and scream at the top of my lungs.
They're freaking out.
And I turn around and look at Amber, and her eyes are just as big as saucers. And she's not saying anything. And we get in there, and I was like, you almost killed me on my 17th birthday. But then we went roller skating, and it was so much fun. Like, we used to go roller skating
a lot. And I still to this day love roller skating.
And I love roller skating. We haven't been in a long time. We need to go again.
Yeah.
For sure. But that was my favorite memory, just because it...
That is your favorite.
At the time, it was terrifying, but now it is so hilarious to me, and I will forever remember that, especially because it was on my birthday. But also just because I love roller skating, and you drive bad.
I don't drive bad now.
Okay, no, not now. Not now. Now she's a little too careful. She drives like a grandma.
I would say I'm careful. Maybe when I'm with people sometimes, but...
You do drive careful. I think you drive careful. You're a very defensive driver. But in the same right that you're defensive, you're also very slow.
Okay, so
she will have somebody behind her, like, beep, 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 beep. And she's just like...
No, she's wrong. I don't think she knows how... She hasn't rode me in a while, so I don't think she knows how to drive now.
Okay, I know how you brake.
Oh, I do brake. Oh, you sound like my mom.
She pumps her brakes. Like, so she puts her foot on there, and she just keeps pumping it. And I'm like, bad. We're just like head bumping. We're head bumping in the car because of how you brake. And it is the funniest thing, especially on music on. I'm just like,
you're just
it just looks natural. Looks natural.
What is my favorite? Oh my gosh. You know my favorite memory. We talk about this all the time.
What?
Our junior year. Me and Karlie decided to play Powder Puff.
Why do you always bring this up?
Because this is my favorite.
Okay, I understand. I may have attacked you slightly in my favorite memory, but this is one of my worst moments.
This is okay. So it's bad because for me it was like I wouldn't say it was my best moment. It was just like a fun experience. I wish we would have done it together. So the issue was in the Powder Puff. When we were playing, okay, so obviously the boys were the coaches and the girls were the players. Obviously, that's how it would work. It's flag football. So we were playing against, the seniors. And so me and Karlie signed up together. Like, first off, I wasn't supposed to play. And my mom even told me not to play because of track. But I really wanted to play. So I convinced Karlie, I'm like, do it with me. Let's do it. So I would say, and at the time, Karlie was working a lot too. So she couldn't come to practices either.
Well, no, I didn't come to one practice.
And then they got mad at me.
One practice. And then I go to the next, and I've told my work about it and everything, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to every practice after this. Only one practice is what I'm going to miss. Keep in mind, it's Powder Puff.
This isn't serious.
It's not like it's a serious football team.
Yeah, but it was just funny. So, okay, so to get along. So we're all practicing. First off, we're not even practicing that much, so I would say we weren't prepared. So we had a group chat on Telegram with all of the players and everything and the coaches. And I think Karlie said something to Jab.
Okay, no. Let me say this.
Let's explain this part. Explain. Yeah, you can explain.
Okay,
what happened.
Okay, so basically what happened is we went to practice, whatever. But the thing is the guys were not making an effort to make us have practices often. The seniors were practicing every day,
and we were
practicing like twice a week.
It was rare.
Like, it was rare.
Now I remember.
And they just weren't doing good on scheduling.
So they said something mean to us about the seniors.
One of the coaches was like, y'all are going to get y'all's butts kicked by these seniors. He was a junior coach.
Yeah.
But he was saying, like, y'all are going to get your butts kicked. And that irritated me because I was like, you shouldn't be saying that as a junior coach. Like, we're all on the same team.
See, I remember this part. Come on, I remember this part.
So I said, well, maybe if we practice more, we'd have a better chance.
And mind you, she was the only person that said this. No one said anything. But Karlie was like, I'm sick of this, so I'm going to say something.
So I was like, I mean, maybe if we practice more, then we'd be able to beat them. And I was just saying it matter-of-factly. I wasn't even trying to judge.
I agreed with her.
I was just honestly being honest. Like giving feedback. Like, maybe we should practice more.
And when I tell you them boys were butt hurt what Karlie said, oh my God, they were so mad at her. They were
beyond
their manhood just got shot. That's what happened.
And I didn't even understand why, because I was like, I just was asking for us to practice more.
And then after that, oh my.
We're the players, you're just the coach.
Exactly.
Like, excuse me, without us, there would be no Powder Puff. Thank you very much.
For real.
But secondly, they just got very irritated, and they kicked
her out the group chat. And then they called her Snake.
They told me not to come to practice again. They kicked me out of the group chat.
And then when you left, and then they started
flooding the messages with snake emojis. And that was after they kicked me out.
So I was telling her everything they were saying about her in the group chat.
Yeah, and so that made me mad. And then every time I'd walk down the hall, if one of the coaches got me, they would do their hand like a snake and they go. They were so butthurt for no reason. That was ridiculous.
It was just, I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite, but it was just, that memory we always talk about this powder puff moment. So it's just a funny moment.
And then I didn't even get my shirt.
Oh yeah, she didn't get the shirt. And that thing was $15 for that shirt. A lame little tank top. But it's just a funny moment.
But what's funny is I didn't need the shirt. You know why?
Why?
Because I have yours.
She does have mine.
Mine is yours is always loving with me. I wore it the other day to get a spray tan.
You're like, I'm good.
I got spray tan all over it.
Oh, well, I don't want that.
It washes out though.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I don't even want it back. It doesn't matter. But it's just funny. It's a funny memory because at the time, this wasn't even that serious. We were all like 16, 17-year-olds. Like, it didn't matter. It was just a football. And we ended up tying. That was the end of the score. But they said the seniors won. It was a whole little nonsense. But it's just a funny moment to always bring up because I always just make jabs at her that I was on the powder puff team and she wasn't. So that's one of my favorite memories because I just think that's funny. Oh, man, that's a funny
You know what? Whatever.
This is also a fun question. Which two fictional BFFs are we most like? Like, what are we like? Fictional characters, if we can think of any of them. My first thought when I thought of this question was, that's a Raven. Raven and Chelsea.
Yeah.
They were like goofy friends. And they were, and like, I would say Chelsea was like, she wasn't like a little standout crazy character to me growing up watching the show.
But Raven definitely was.
Raven was out there type personality.
And Raven, and also she's loud.
Yes, so that's the first person I thought.
That's perfect. That's just like you and me.
But I wouldn't say
Chelsea was more quiet.
Yeah, but there also wasn't that many shows like on Disney Channel or whatever shows. There wasn't a lot of shows where they had like those characters where there was like a black friend,
black and white.
Yeah, there wasn't that many shows or movies.
I mean, movies. The only one I could think of was Clueless.
Yeah,
but honestly, I don't think either one of us are anything like
that.
them.
No.
If anything, they're like the people from our
high school. Yeah. But so I would
be fine.
Oh. Oh Lord.
Not naming any names. But
we're not dropping any names. But oh my gosh,
we all know that they are spoiled.
Oh, Centennial was spoiled.
I honestly I'm glad I went to Centennial just because you were there, and because of other people that I met that will forever have impacted my life. Not naming any names, but. I honestly think I would have had a better time at BHS.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because I definitely, regardless of the bad things that they were doing there, the people they were more chill.
Yeah, the people there were.
Because that's on the side of Burleson that's like not rich, rich side. So they're a lot more chilled out. But yeah, Centennial is kind of like a competition.
Centennial when we were in high school was like that, but now Centennial I would say it's not.
Yeah,
it's a hot mess.
It's not like that anymore.
But when we were in high school,
honestly, I prefer how it was when we were there. I would rather deal with snooty people than deal with what's going on now.
Just crazy. Folks over there.
It's
all types of stuff that goes on at Centennial now. But
that's because they opened. It's open transfer.
Yeah, you can let anybody in now.
That was.
Before then, you had to live a certain radius from the school to be able to go.
Yeah, that was a horrible decision.
Yeah, so but I also agree. I think I wish I did go to Burleson High School as well because at the same time, I also had friends that I met at Burleson because the things I used to do. So like with my media program, we did stuff with Burleson High School. So I made a lot of friends with that, and also sports too. I made friends with. So like
but and the other thing is, this is gonna sound like small in the big scheme of things, but I really like their colors. Like red and black just look really cool together. I don't know, like the basic blue and the silver / gray, whatever you want to call it, and white. It just was not. It wasn't like that's so many high school's colors, and it just was boring. And I liked looking at their mums and their garters.
Oh yeah,
the colors were just so cool. Like I don't know, I just felt like their colors were kind of sick. So I
did like it. I don't think I probably didn't like it was their mascot. I don't like being an elk, so I was fine with being a Spartan.
Yeah, Spartan sounds a lot more intimidating than an elk. And our football team was better. Yeah, sorry, not gonna apologize.
Our senior year, I think we were the best in football, really. But we always, we went back and forth on Battle of the Boot, but
no, because we won the majority of the boots.
We did, time. Yeah.
Because we won 2, and they won 1.
Yeah, and we were.
Was it sophomore year that they won?
It had to be that. I think it was sophomore year or junior year. I remember just one of the years I couldn't. No, it was sophomore year because I couldn't go because I got in trouble the night before. Something happened. I couldn't go to the game, and I couldn't go, and I was like upset.
Junior year was the year that we tortillas and baby powder, and we got in trouble.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. And we were on the business side.
Because people were throwing tortillas and smacking people in the face.
Oh, Lord. High school football was literally the greatest.
It was so bad.
It was so fun.
But Mr. Neal was so laid back. We would get in trouble for, doing stuff like that, but then when we did it, it was like,
I would say the disciplinarian was Mrs. Neal. She was the one that was trying to keep everyone in control.
Don't even start.
Oh, I love her.
I do not like Mrs. Neal. She just cut me 4 times over.
I love Mrs. Neal. She lives in
Girls could be having their everything out, all sorts of skin showing, but then I wear a dress that is a good length, but the only thing is it had spaghetti straps, and oh my gosh, I am so incredibly inappropriate.
If you know her now, her outside of school, she's a great person. Really? But in school, obviously, she had to be that's the thing. You didn't like her because she was a disciplinarian in high school. That was the thing. But she's a great person because she lives up the street from us. She's on my neighbor, so she's nice.
I would just have to meet her outside of school.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously
as an adult.
Yeah, as an adult.
I feel like as a teenager in high school, it's a little bit different about how you feel about people that are that way. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But she's.
I don't know. So I still think Jimmy Neal was the man.
Oh Lord, Jimmy Neal.
I liked. He was pretty cool. He was pretty laid back.
I think he was a laid back.
I thought he was funny.
Principal.
Yeah, he was funny.
I think he was trying to relate to a lot of us, so maybe at some points I was like, oh gosh, he's doing a little bit too much.
Yeah, definitely during that, because I'm like, you can't relate to us. You're way too old.
You're like,
I mean, not that he was old, but just way too old to relate to us.
Yeah,
sure.
So that's why there were moments where I didn't like it, because I was like, oh, calm down. We get it. You're trying to you want to relate to us. You want to be cool.
He's like one of the principals that would say swag in the middle of his speech just because he thought that because he thought that was cool.
Maybe lit, because I think that word lit was popular then.
Oh, yeah.
Lit was 2017, 2016. That's lit. Oh,
that's so lit.
Yeah. Oh, cringe.
That was. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. I did not like any of the words that we used.
I do not like slang.
I don't even like here. What was it last year? That period was a big thing.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about all that either.
I remember growing up slang. I did not understand. I don't understand abbreviations. I'm sometimes with certain stuff I can be an old soul. I don't understand something.
Although I did call something sick earlier. I don't remember what it was.
That's hilarious.
That's old slang though. People don't say sick anymore.
I swear, when we get older and when we have children.
But I'm sorry, lit just sounds so dumb.
Lit,
I don't
like
lit
is
so swag. I can't believe that was ever.
Why did he ever say swag? See, now I wish I could remember why he said that. Swag.
I know. I was just saying he was
But he was that type of person that would say.
He was the type of principal to say stuff like that he thinks is still cool, but it nobody thought it was funny or cool. We thought it was funny just in the way that it was funny that he thought it was cool. I guess. Just to we were embarrassed by him sometimes.
It was like having your dad show up.
Yes.
He was a dad.
Energy.
He gave dad energy because he would just say things that your dad would just say, and you're like, okay, hey,
dad jokes.
Yeah, and just don't embarrass me. That was the type of thing. He just had a lot of dad energy. I mean, at the same time, we were kind of like his children. If you think about it, because he was the principal. He kind of had all, you know what I'm saying. So in a way, he was like a dad. Yeah, because he was a very nice person. He was a nice guy to everybody. Yeah, I liked him. But
what's the next question?
Oh, the next question is wait, hold on. Sorry, I almost forgot the question. I read it and then I just went for 2 seconds.
I don't know. We keep going on long tangents.
But that's how we talk.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Okay, this is a good funny question. Not funny, but it's just a good question. When we're 85 years old, what do you think we'll be doing together? What we'll be doing? And I think we talked about how old we would be and what we're gonna do.
Going to the club.
At 85? Yeah, we're gonna be pulling people.
With our canes. And our walkers.
We're gonna be pulling. Black don't crack over here.
Glasses.
Black don't crack over here. So
okay, you know what?
And I'll rub some melon on her too, and she'll be fine too. I'll put my abracadabra.
Hey, I don't know. My mom still looks real good.
But also, yeah.
So if it's a genetics thing for me, I'll be good. And obviously, your mom looks amazing.
Your mom had you at a young age though too, right?
Yeah.
Younger than my mom. Because how old was your mom?
My mom's 41.
Yeah, I'm not disclosing my mom's name. My mom's 67.
Yeah, your mom would be mad if you disclose that on here.
Yes. But no, I'm saying
but she looks good too.
Yes.
Both of our moms look really good.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's weird, but guys who know our parents would try to hit on our mom, and it's weird because it's bro, chill. Goodbye. But no, I'm saying, how old was your mom when she had? Do you know?
21.
influence. That's what I'm saying. Your mom was younger.
She was, but the other thing is it's like when I'm like she is a younger mom, I would say, but other people at 41, like other than your mom, like did not look like that at 41. You know, like other parents that I know that are in their 40s or when they were in their 40s did not look anything like my mom looks like in her 40s. My mom just looks good still for. I don't know. I hope I look like that in my 40s. Because I think some people just, especially if you have a lot of stress in your life, probably
that's why you look old.
Causes you to age faster.
People in our high school is going to look old.
My mom doesn't have any gray hairs yet. Or like anything like that. She wants them.
She wants gray hair?
Is that not the strangest thing you've ever heard? The other day, she told me, she was like, oh, I got so excited because I thought I got a gray hair, but it turns out it was just a blonde one. And I was like, you want gray hair? And she's like, I think it will look pretty. She's like, I'm not like nervous about like aging and having gray hair.
Well, she's a cosmetologist. She can do her own hair.
But she doesn't want to dye over it. She said once she starts going gray, she's just gonna leave it. Oh. And I was like, okay.
That wouldn't be my mom.
I mean, that's pretty cool though. Like, I mean,
I'm glad she's embracing it.
Yeah.
My mom.
And I honestly would too. And the reason why I say that is because of Mrs. Reeves.
Yeah.
Do you remember her hair?
I love Miss Reeves.
She was.
Oh yeah, she was our receptionist at our private school. She was the most.
Yes, and she had the most beautiful like natural hair. It was like dark gray and light gray, like mixed together. It had so much depth, and it was super long, and it was just beautiful. I thought it looked great on her. So I don't know. Ever since then, I've been like, I'll be okay when I get gray hair too. Yeah. But I thought it was funny. I'll be okay when I get gray hair, but I'm not gonna hope. For gray hair. Yeah. Like in my 40s, I'm not going to be like,
we might have a gray hair. Where's that? No.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's what I'm saying. My mom had me at 25, I believe. 25, I would say. So just a little bit. But my mom is a little bit older than your mom. So probably at 25, my mom thought that was like young. She was like, oh my God, I'm having first kid.
Both of our moms are still relatively young.
They are young. I would never think my parents would be old.
Just because, like, most of our friends or like people we grew up with, their parents are way older.
Yeah,
like they're in their like
50s,
late 50s.
Yeah, 50s. A lot of them that we know are in their 50s. So I mean, even when my mom eventually gets to that age, when she gets older, I don't think that I'm gonna look at her and be like, "Oh, you're old." Like, now my dad,
because your mom's never gonna look old.
Now my dad, on the other hand, oh yeah, I'm always gonna pick on my dad how old he is when he gets older.
You already pick on him now.
I love my
You already pick on him now.
I love my dad, but he has gray hairs on his beard.
But well, that's probably from football on him, like the stressors of being a coach.
Probably that. Yeah.
Because I don't know, those youngins playing football.
Especially in their 20s, like most of the people in 20s and 30s,
they would stress me out.
You would think because most of the people who play professionals are in their like 20s, 30s.
Well, the main issue with it is they're making so much money and they don't know what to do with it, and that's when they act kind of crazy, and it would drive me nuts to be like dealing with like not only young men that are playing football, but they have so much talent, which comes with really big egos. And then you add a lot of money to that, and it's a recipe for disaster.
It's a train wreck.
For sure. So, yeah, they would stress me out for sure if I was him. But yeah, no, your mom's never going to look old. Like, honestly, I really don't. I think when she's 90, love that you're saying I think that when she's 90, she's going to look like she's like 60.
My mom is one of our main viewers on this channel, so she's going to love
that. That is hilarious.
I
love that, though. That's great.
I know. She's very supportive. I appreciate her
support. I'm going to tell my mom about it. Hopefully
I think she should listen if you're being a guest on here.
Yeah.
And hopefully Karlie will come back for more episodes. I think we have to put you back in.
Yes. At some point we need to play some kind of game on here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what kind of game.
We have a thing of game.
Something.
But when we're 85, oh yeah, me and Karlie will be in the same retirement home.
We will somehow partying it up.
We'll be in the same retirement home throwing parties up in there. And everyone's going to think we're crazy, but...
Responsible parties.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're 85.
Just dancing.
We can't be breaking hips
We like dancing.
We love dancing. Oh my gosh.
I think that's been like a big thing in our friendship is dancing.
We love to dance. We love to make TikToks together. We're always trying to come up with something.
Which might I add, I don't post TikToks. Like ever. Like every once in a while, I'll post one and then I immediately archive it like a week later.
I have not posted TikTok.
Or hide it, shall I say?
I have not posted a TikTok. This is a good question I'll ask. Describe me in 3 words. There's 3 words that come to your head to describe me.
Okay. Energetic, caring, and loud.
That's a good one. I like loud. It's always going to be something.
Something about you being loud. I like that you're loud, though. That's the
I
thing.
don't know why
Like,
people don't like it.
To me, like, I know, like, usually when somebody says you're loud, like,
it's always bad.
That comes with, like, negative connotation, but I don't think of that as a negative thing, because I typically am pretty quiet, and so I like that you're loud, because I wish I could be loud sometimes. Like, sometimes I wish I was, like, more outspoken and loud, except for when you're at restaurants. Then I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because you come off very blunt to the waitress,
and I don't mean that way.
She thinks you're being mean, and then I'll have to be like, no. Yeah. She's not being mean. She's just, like, matter of fact. Like, you're just very, like, blunt, but, like, loud at the same time. So you'll be like, I need more water. Yeah, but, and I don't mean really come but, like, I need more water. And like, I'm just like, being loud. But really, you're just thirsty, and you really just want some more water. Like, but you're not trying to be mean. Yeah. You're just trying to let her know, hey, can you refill my water, please?
I'm just trying to be. I just don't know how to reel stuff. Sometimes I don't know how to reel stuff in. I would say the words I would describe for you is loyal, because you've always been a loyal friend. Smart, because Karlie's always been smart. Like, through high school, she was just smart. Like, and it just came natural for you for being smart, I would say. And I also know the good word is driven. For me, I think when you have something set in your brain to do something, you're going to work for it. As much as it might be hard to get to where you want to get, you're not going to give up on what you want to do. So I think driven's a good word for you, too.
I love how you described, like, driven in mine, and the word we focused on from yours was loud.
No, I'm just saying, just knowing you.
Let's touch on those subjects, like, the different words, though. How about, like, caring? Okay, for example, you care sometimes too much, but you are, like, a super caring person in the way that, like, it doesn't matter if it is a stranger that you
just met
2 seconds ago, you would give the shirt off your back for anybody, which I love that. Like, you have always been such a caring friend. Anytime I've ever had a problem, or anybody's had a problem, just a complete stranger just saying something about how they're upset about something, you've always been the person to be like, what's going on? How can I help? All of that stuff. And that's why I love you, because, I mean, you've just always been a caring person, which is really great. And then, what was the other thing I said?
Loving. No, you just said loving. I thought you did.
I said caring, loud, and energetic.
Energetic, that was the word.
Energetic. That is probably my favorite thing about you, which sounds crazy, like that sounds like so surface level, but it's really not. I love that you're energetic, because, like, it makes me want to get out of bed. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, in every way. Like, I don't even mean just literally, but I mean, like, when I'm down, or, like, something's going on, like, your energy just, like, lightens up a room. Like, honestly, like, you're the type of person, like, you step into a room, and it's almost like you command everybody's attention with your energy. That's good. Because you give off just, like, really radiant, positive energy. And not only that, but, like, you're always just, like, you're just energetic. You're an energetic person. I get up, I do all of this stuff, and then I go to bed early so I can get up early again and get all this stuff done. Like, yeah.
So I'm saying, that's why I said the last one for you was driven, because since you've been 18, when we were 18, just even through life too, you went through a lot, but especially when you were 18, from where we are now, you've been through so much, and, like, even when you moved out at 18, I know that was, like, something tough that you were dealing with, trying to figure out where you were gonna go and everything, but you didn't give up on that, because you could have just gave up, like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to my parents' house and go live with them and do whatever, but you were always just like, no, I want to be on my own, I want to do this. That's another good word.
And I obviously had a few hiccups with that,
of course,
with Tarleton not working out the way I wanted it to, and everything else, but, I mean, through all of the mistakes that I have made throughout the years, quite honestly, I'm really glad I made them. And I know that sounds crazy, because it's gotten me in the gutter quite a few times, but at the same time, like, it gave me a new perspective on life, I guess. Like, you have to really strive to make your life what you want it to be. And nobody else can make it that for you. Yeah. You know, like, there's people that help along the way, and you can ask people for advice and this and that, but at the end of the day, like, what your future looks like is completely up to you. Yeah. And I'm glad I made those decisions, because honestly, it was kind of the kick in the butt, so to say, that I needed to get my head out of nonsense, things that really didn't matter that I thought mattered at the time, or even recently, things that I thought mattered that didn't matter at the time. You know, like you just every like mistake you make is genuinely a life lesson that you have to follow and be like, you know what, from now on, I know in that situation not to do that way, because that's just life. That's how it is.
Most definitely, I definitely agree with you. Especially just being like 20, we're young. We have so much life to live, and we're whatever life that God gives us, we're just gonna live it to the fullest. So I mean, everyone's gonna make mistakes throughout. However old you are, you're always gonna make some mistake. But if you're able to bounce back and just keep pushing through life, then you're doing something right.
And also the main reason I'm glad I made those mistakes is because, as crazy as it sounds, like I'm not trying to get all spiritual on you or anything, but as crazy as that sounds, it's honestly pushed me closer to God. I'm not gonna lie, during those hard times, it makes you feel like you're far away, but you always go back to Him for reassurance and for safety and for love and protection, and that's the one person, well, not person, but you know what I'm saying, that you can trust over anybody. Because
most definitely,
humans are human. Like people are people.
We're born,
and we're born to make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that will always happen. And people don't mean to fail you, and they don't mean to wrong you necessarily. But everybody is living their own lives and making their own mistakes at the same time that you are. So you can't always rely on people to have your best interest at heart, but you can rely on God to have your best interest at heart at all times. And there was a time where I did not believe in God. There was a time after private school, and well, even I still believed in God, like freshman year, sophomore year, all that stuff. But my junior and senior year, and even like my freshman year of college, I was really struggling with my faith, for sure. And I was like, I don't believe in Him. I think this is all a bunch of nonsense, etc. So I have definitely been through some stuff with that, for sure, where I didn't know if I believed this and that. Everybody goes through that. If you say you haven't had doubts, well, you're lying. I'm sorry. Everybody has had that moment before. But all of those moments just lead you to believing, having a stronger faith, quite honestly. And so all of my mistakes and everything has led me to draw closer and pray more and worship more. And yeah, I don't go to church. I would like to. I would like to look at the churches in Lubbock. I've never been a huge church person, though. I don't know why. It's just not my cup of tea, mainly because I'm just not a very judgmental person, and I don't like surrounding myself with judgmental people, and I feel like there's a lot of that in churches, and if it's the wrong churches, you know, it's not the church for you, but I just haven't found the church for me yet. Yeah. But I worship in my own way. You know, I'll put on my praise music late at night, and I will worship, and I will cry, and I will feel all of those emotions, and that's my way of worshiping. And I pray every night. I pray for myself. I pray for my friends. I pray for my family. I pray for strangers. This is gonna sound crazy, but like I'll be scrolling through TikTok at like 1 a.m, and I'll see like a TikTok that just makes me cry, and I will sit there and I will pray for that person, because I don't know them, but I feel what they're feeling. If it's making me cry, I understand. So I don't know. It's really helped me in that way, and it's also helped me help my other friends that also they're now struggling now. I hit that little period of time before a lot of other people where I was feeling kind of, I don't know, about how I felt about my faith, but now a lot of people are going through it right now because they're in college, or because they're starting their lives outside of college, all that stuff. So they're hitting that now, and so now I'm able to help them through that because I've already been through it. Yeah. Sorry, that got a little off topic.
No, that's good.
I felt like I should touch on that because
no, that's not off topic. I think that would be a good way. I think to end our episode, I think we should end. Our last question should be: what is some advice for those who are in friendships as long as we have been? Like maybe not, or as even long, just friendships. Friendships in general, yeah. What's advice to people who are making friends, and how can they keep it long term? That thing.
You go first.
I think for me, the biggest thing to keep a friendship to last long is obviously the main thing is communication with each other.
That's exactly what I was going to person.
Yeah, see? I think you have to communicate with each other and also make effort to spend time with each other. Like, if you're not making effort to spend time with each other, like a simple text, phone call type thing, or just, also meeting up for lunch or something, 30 minutes out of the day, it doesn't have to be long, but just making time for each other, what's ever going through your life, just making time for each other. Because, like, obviously right now, like Karlie mentioned, Karlie's 5 hours away from me. She lives in Lubbock. And just right now, I'm in Texas for the summer, but I'll go back to Arkansas. But we started probably, like, our long-distance friendship our freshman year of college. But we still make effort to talk almost every day. Mm-hmm. And when I came home for breaks, we're going to hang out. So I feel like it's communication and just effort within a friendship.
Yes, and if you can't make effort, if you don't have time, like if genuinely your life is so busy, it goes back to communication.
Let them know.
So that's when you need to be like, hey, I am so busy right now. If you don't get a call or text or anything from me for a couple of weeks, just know I love you. I care about you. I'm just really busy right now. That is enough.
Yeah,
like,
but
a lot of people don't do that.
So they just kind of ghost.
They drop off the side of the earth, and then the other person's like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, what did I do wrong?
You don't ever want your friend to doubt that you love them. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing, I think, is you want to always make sure your friends know that you love them and that you care about them and that you will be there no matter what. Mm-hmm. And another part of having a long-term friendship, and this isn't even about a long-term friendship, I guess, but to have a valued friendship is to know when it is not good for you or to know when it is. Yeah. Toxic friendships should not be long-term friendships. I believe that wholeheartedly. You have to love yourself to have a long-term friendship for sure. You have to have some sort of love for yourself because you cannot show your friend the same love and respect if you don't feel that for yourself. You know? So I feel like if you are in a toxic friendship, if you feel like they're not putting in any effort or they are influencing you to not be a good person or they're crushing your dreams and your plans or they're taking you down with them or whatever it is that may be, what it is, you just have to recognize when it's time to walk away. Yeah. And then there will be friendships like that, and you have to realize that's just a part of life. Yeah, you're gonna have friends, but then you'll have friends like we are that really uplift you, and that's the key to having a long-lasting friendship is uplifting each other. Yep. No matter what, even if you don't agree with your friend's choice, should you communicate that to them? Absolutely, because you should always be open and honest with your best friends or friends in general. If by you sitting there and not telling them, hey, I think you're doing something wrong, blah blah blah, and you're not holding them accountable, you're not being a good friend. If you're enabling instead of holding accountable, that is not being a good friend. Yeah. Because now you're just sitting on the sidelines allowing them to destroy their life and you're just watching, and that's not cool.
It's like saying that, like, this is just a weird analogy I came up with. It's like how people say sometimes a true friend versus a fake friend. A fake friend would let you go out in public looking a hot mess. And they're like, oh no girl, you look great. A real friend would tell you, hey, like this, what you're doing right now ain't it. That's accountability type of thing. Absolutely. That's just a random analogy I thought.
Whether it's what you look like or what you're doing. Whatever. Yeah. Like, best friends should just be straight up and honest with each other. Any friends should be straight up and honest. Any relationship should be straight up and honest. Just any relationships you have with your family, your friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Being open and honest in communication is very important to a long-lasting relationship in whatever way that is. That's how I feel.
I think that was a perfect end to our episode.
Absolutely.
I just want to
thanks for having me.
I was gonna say thanks for joining. This was actually really fun to have, Karlie join our episode. But that's tea time, and usually me and AJ clink at the end, so don't clink with me. So thanks for watching Tea Time. Ready? Clink!